poquito ya?
Sí.
Es que me voy con delay. Está muy rica la comida, ¿eh? He hecho un puchero, como he dicho antes, y está de 10. Ya os gustaría a más de la mitad de la gente que ve esto.
It's an English stream.
Tú traduces ahora.
Oh. Okay, I want to do some washing up.
Me traduces, cariño.
What?
Tradúceme lo que he dicho.
So that was my guy Alejandro. I'm going to be doing some food prepping now. We've just had our lunch. And I'd actually like to do the washing up first, if that's not too much of a bother. But I'm going to be... ¿Tú estás conectado mi canal?
No.
Okay.
Bueno, sí, debería estar arriba puesto.
Ok, por eso me salen dos. I'm going to do my washing up first.
Has compartido por Twitter, por Instagram y Facebook, ¿no? El nuevo.
No.
¿No?
He puesto un aviso. De a tal hora comparte.
Claro, pues reenvíalo a la gente.
Okay. So before I start,
She's new in this.
everybody knows I'm new. Okay. So I have to share this first.
And this is makeup.
He's allergic to the cat.
Yeah. ¿Cómo es? Me pican los ojos.
It makes his eyes water.
Right now.
Okay, I don't know how to share this stream.
¿Vas a hacerlo por aquí?
Let me see if I can do it from my tablet. Yep. Compartir. No, I don't think my tablet's linked up to my social media. Claro, es que no tengo Instagram en este.
Ponlo público, ¿eh?
Está público, ok. Bling. Light. So I'm going to be doing some washing up for now. Actually, can I move this over here a little bit? Excuse my fingers. And when I've done the washing up, because we've just had lunch, I actually did, I actually streamed how I was making lunch today. I made, because I'm not feeling well, I will be coughing this afternoon. I don't know if I've got, because I'm quite medicated at the moment, so I feel way better, but I was feeling so rotten this morning, and last night as well. I've actually had to cancel, I have some gigs this week. I do a lot of hotel gigging during the week, and then on the weekends I play in bars, and I have a wedding this weekend, and which is where I'll be performing, hopefully, if I feel better. I really hope I do, because I can't afford not to be working, actually. But because I'm not feeling well, I decided to make chicken noodle soup with some bone broth and some chopped up hard-boiled egg. Actually, it was poached. This is my poaching a thing. And yeah. So we've had our soup, and now I'm going to be doing the prepping. I've certainly, I don't know how long my stream's going to last today, because it depends how I feel, but I posted on social media that I was going to be doing several things. First off, the first one being ice cream, because I have an ice cream maker there, and I'm in the in the groups on on social media, and I do share recipes and that, but then I get a lot of questions, how do you do this, how do you do that, so I did advertise that I was going to be doing this stream only a couple of hours ago. So anyway, I'm just going to go and get some more washing up from the table, and then I'll be able to do my thing. So as I say, I'm not feeling very well. I'm quite under the weather today. I don't know if it's like a cold or flu. I've taken some pseudoephedrine and some paracetamol, and that's keeping me ticking. But regardless, I do have to make this food, because if I don't have all this food made up, then I go to the corner shop and buy sweets and junk to comfort myself with, especially when I'm not feeling well. I don't know if anybody else, any of you guys do that as well. But anyway, clean, wipe down. See if anybody shows up. My stream, it's the second day that I'm streaming today. The first stream was actually really cool because I got raided, which I did not expect. Emily Faulkner picked my stream to get all her followers to have a raid. She's mainly a gamer. She does have a varied channel, but she's mainly a gamer, which is not my general area of interest. Games, at least not video games anyway. The only video game I ever play really is not games, they're like pastimes. Like, I enjoy Scrabble, and I used to play Candy Crush. Candy Crush is something that I'll still play if I have a flight. You know, it'll keep me ticking while I'm there. But I'm not into proper games. I handle my fella, he's a real gamer. And, he's probably streamed some of his gameplays as well. Although his Twitch channel is actually more about programming. He's doing the, I don't know how you'd call it, but he's doing a programming 2-year course. It's actually he's already done 2 years in a lower level, and now he's doing a second 2 years in the top level. There he is. And
El nombre correcto
but anyway,
es programación orientada a objetos.
I can't translate that. I have no idea.
Es literal, tal como
I can't translate that. But this is a cooking channel, so don't. It's my cooking channel. Let me do my cooking thing, and let me mess up anything else. So I said that there was egg in my in the soup that I made earlier on, and I made it in a poacher. So this is the poaching thing, and this thing heats up and it beeps at me when it's ready. It's very practical. Excuse me. Man, I don't feel well. I tried to post a link to this particular stream on my profile. I belong to the ice cream thing that I was talking about. I belong to a group. I'm a member of a group that you know, we share recipes and that. And I did try to share the thing, but the administrators didn't let me post it. Which, yeah, I think the administrators, they've got their own cooking channels and what have you, so I suppose it's to be expected, although I'm not happy that I wasn't allowed to post a link, because I do know that it's helpful what I do, and some people like, well, actually a lot of people like my ideas, and I've had a lot of inquiries about my ice creams, because I don't use the ingredients that most people use. Most people like to use instant pudding things like Jello, custardy sort of things. Actually, I've got one here. It's not Jello, it's greens lemon pie filling, which I bought because I thought I might be able to make ice cream out of this, but I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So plus I actually did one ice cream made with a vanilla pudding, like a creme caramel instant pudding mix like this, and you have to be really careful with starch based recipes, because these things, they're all mainly cornstarch. That'll probably be the first ingredient, the very top. Yeah, corn flour. There it is, corn flour, maltodextrin. And have you ever seen that experiment where people make a corn flour slurry and they can sink their fingers, but then they can't punch through because the surface tension, it creates a very forceful resistance? Well, I think that's what happens in the machine. I thought I was breaking the machine when I ran my recipe, this creme caramel thing, and I ran it through the machine, because you freeze it first and then you process it. And I thought I was going to wreck the machine, which I have right over there. See, that's my, right behind the huge pot of mint that I've got there. But anyway, today I'm going to be making the ice cream with a cheese base, so it's going to be cheesecake flavoured, and it's going to be extremely low calorie, which is what I'm always trying to achieve, is low calorie, like really yummy stuff, but to keep it low cal. So that's kind of my mission normally. Right, I think I'm going to move over this here, and I'd like you to see what I've got going on. So these are the canisters that the ice cream, I'm going to make them in here with a stick blender. I'll show you one that I've already got made. It's actually halfway through. I think it's halfway through. So this is maple syrup flavoured, okay, and it's a fake maple syrup, as in, you know, one of these 0 calories one, and I make it with, hello, he's getting ready to leave, yeah. I've already eaten a fair bit of my ice cream, but this whole pint worked out to, I think it was 125 calories, the whole damn pint. So these are the kind of recipes that I'm doing, and it looks rock solid, and it is rock solid at the moment. It's, let me show you, there is no way in hell that I will get my spoon to go through this. So bye-bye, darling. Love you.
Buen día.
Have fun. It's going to school.
Hell.
So to hell. So anyway, what I do is I put my pint in this thing here, and that goes into that big motor. So it goes in here, and then this is what does the work. So it sits on top of the pint like this, and it pushes it, an arm comes down and it pushes these blades at really high speed, and it makes an absolute racket. It's really noisy, but it turns anything into ice cream, like anything. You can freeze a milkshake and turn it into ice cream. A protein shake, you can freeze it into ice cream. It's really it's a very clever piece of equipment, I think, far better than the regular ice cream machines you get. Anyway, I'm going to be making chocolate cheesecake flavour now, and it's going to take me about 5 minutes to make, and it's going to be about 150 calories for the whole pint. And I'm going to make the other one strawberry cheesecake flavour. Okay, and I have some frozen strawberries here. Bear with me. Actually, I might throw in some raspberries as well. So anyway, I'm going to move my little setup over to a better spot. Actually, bear with me a second. I just got to unplug the lamp. It's gone all dark, and I've got to bring it to the other side. So bear with me. And she's coming up here with me. I have a nice high shelf here, and you're going to be able to see all my prep work much better. So let's get the lights back on. I'm pointing downwards. Now that you're higher up, have you seen my beautiful bunch of mint? I asked Alejandro, my fella, you've just seen him leave now, I asked him if he could buy some mint for me, and he's got this fuck off big bunch for me, and the house smells just beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to need my scale. I put all my creations, I put them into an app that I've got for calorie counting and what have you. MyFitnessPal, I'm sure you've heard of it. And if you haven't, it's because you have no interest in calorie counting, so irrelevant. Right. Strawberries, 93 grams, not too much, so that's probably about 30 calories, and it says that 100 grams has, so yeah, it's under 30 calories that I've got there. Oh, excuse me. And this is going to be made with the fruit, cheese, because it's cheesecake, and water, artificial sweetener, because as I said, I'm making it low calorie, so I have my saccharin here, some cancer in a bottle, which is BS. Besides, I've noticed people like to have, they like to have regular, you know, soft drinks instead of the low sugar ones, you know, the no sugar, the artificial sweetener ones, because apparently this one's really bad for you. However, the regular sodas also carry tons of artificial sweeteners. They put so much sugar in there, so much high fructose corn syrup, and you will also see aspartame or any other sort of sweetener on the list if you actually turn the thing around. So there you go. Anyway, this is my cheese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also going to bring my tablet over here, because if anybody wants to say something on the chat, I won't be able to see it because I'm using my phone as a camera, and I'm going to pick out 5. This has to have 6. I have this. I'm going to put in 15 millilitres of sweetener. I've got a little measuring thing here. It's like the ones that come with medicine. But you know, different sugar replacements have different concentrations to be equivalent. I'm using the equivalent of 200 grams of sugar on this particular sweetener, which is the 15 ml. And this is going to go down there. Now I'm going to make a racket in a minute. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. So it will start defrosting a little bit. I'm not going to use cream or milk in my ice cream, so. Number 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. What is it, baby girl? You can't see the cat, she's right out sharp. You can see a tail there. So 6 cheeses. Look, I've tried it with more cheese and I've tried it with less. And I find that 6 is the magic number. I mean, if you put any more in, it just gets creamier. But because I'm calorie conscious, I'm always going for the lowest effective amount possible. Careful, careful, Leela. Anyway, so I'm going to use my stick blender now, and this will be making a racket. I don't know my measuring thing for a moment. I'm actually going to let this thing thaw for a while, just for a little bit, because it's, my freezer is particularly hardcore, and it just makes it so frozen. So, and it's got no temperature selector, it's just on or off. So I'll let it out for about 10 minutes before I actually process it and eat it. Anyway, there's one more ingredient that I'm going to need. because this hasn't got any cream in it, it needs a stabiliser. And I'm using xanthan gum. You can use cornstarch. You can use, although as I did say, you have to be careful with the amount. You use cornstarch, you can use any other sort of gum. Sometimes I use psyllium husk, which is fibre gel. Sometimes I use that. It depends what I feel like, but this is my my go-to because it's just such a tiny amount, and it's reliable. It always works as a good stabiliser. It makes sure that I don't have the ingredients separate while it's sitting in the freezer. It keeps it all homogenised, which is very important, because otherwise you get all the fruit and cheese at the bottom and all the water on the top. It doesn't mix well because there's no fat in it. Anyway, let's make some noise. Make some noise and some froth. Hiya newcomers. Welcome to the channel. We're cooking low-cal treats, like tasty stuff. And I've started off with strawberry cheesecake flavoured ice cream. I'm just prepping it. I do have a different flavoured ice cream sitting here, which I will process and show you the end result. But for now I'm prepping my strawberry one, and then I'll be making a chocolate flavoured one as well. They are under 150 calories per entire pint. This is less than Halo Top and all that sort of stuff, but it's really good, I promise you. Anyway, I put in the strawberries. This in here's got 100 grams of strawberries, 5 of these little cheeses. This will actually also work with cheese, you know, American, what are they called? The slices. Singles, they call them, don't they? It'll also work with that. And this is a little bit of xanthan gum. I did explain a second ago that it makes sure, because there's no fat in here, it will separate in the freezer into fruit and milk and cheese and water, and I don't want that to happen. I want it to all stay homogenised and stable, and then I'll get a really good creamy ice cream after this. So I need some more water. I've put some artificial sweetener in here. Most people use sugar or honey. Maple syrup's a popular one. And I can only go up to the pint light. You see, these are I can only go up to this line here. Max fill. Reminds me of the symbol. Reminds me of the Simpsons. Remember Max Power? I said, Max Power, I love your name. He said, yeah, I got it from my hairdryer. Anyway, I better taste this and see if it needs anything else. I'll give it one more whiz. I've actually got some raspberries sitting in my fridge as well, which I'm going to be making a clafoutis out of, which is a cross between a cake and a pancake. It's I saw it in a recipe book and I want to make that. Anyway, let me taste it. And that's what I'm keeping my raspberries for, but I do have a lot. Actually, it's missing, it's not sharp enough. You know that nice, sharp, acidic flavour you want from the strawberries, it's not there. So I am going to steal a few raspberries from my clafoutis. I could put some lemon juice in there. strawberry and lemon, or strawberry and raspberry. What would you think? Well, I'm going to throw in 4 raspberries and taste it again and see if that feels right. I also don't want to use too many raspberries because they've got so many fucking seeds in them, and it's just, you know. Get another teaspoon. So if it's not sharp enough, I could use yogurt as well. I don't know. Would I want to use yogurt or would I want to use lemon? I'm definitely putting some lemon in here. I have made up my mind. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put some lemon zest in as well. Give it a little bit extra. Just go extra here. Let me just rinse my thing. This is dry. Do 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 do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is my second stream ever, and I'm only going to put this much amount of zest in here. I don't want it to be overly lemony. I just want to give it a little bit of zing. I'm not going to bother putting any juice in there, just that tiny bit of zest has done it for me. I'm going to process it a bit harder because there's bits of lemon zest floating around, and I don't want bits of lemon zest in my ice cream. I really want it blended in nicely. That's perfect. So this is going in the freezer. It must be something like 3:30. It's 25 to 4 my end. So it's gonna. I don't think this will be ready for tonight. This is going to be an overnight job. Overnight freeze. Have it for breakfast. Actually, I have had ice cream for breakfast before. I won't be having ice cream these days for breakfast because I'm a bit poorly at the moment. I actually woke up feeling absolutely rotten. Trying to get some air out. Feeling absolutely rotten really early this morning, despite having taken stuff to knock me out completely. During the night because I was feeling awful last night. Let's knock some air out. That's the xanthan gum. It makes it froth up. And you're not supposed to go over a certain line because otherwise it interferes with the machine. This is going in the freezer, but I'm going to show you how this thing works now. That pint glass, cup or whatever you call it, it goes into this thing, which goes into this massive machine right here, which is called the Ninja Creami, and it's an arm comes down from the thing. So I lock the pint in, what have you, and the arm comes down, and down with the arm comes this paddle, and it shaves all the ice up, and then it processes it and creams it. It creams the living daylights out of it. So this is one I had sitting in the freezer. This is maple syrup flavoured. It's artificial flavouring, so the only calories that have actually gone in are the 6 pieces of cheese. I already started this the other day. But I'm going to lock this in here. I'm going to show you what it actually looks like when it's processed. So I turn it on, and see, it's going to make a racket. It's going to be so bloody noisy, but bear with me, it'll only be a minute. Does it not go in? Now it does. So, I don't think you can hear me. But while that's going, I'm going to be making the same ice cream but a chocolate flavoured one. The process is slightly different because cocoa, it requires a little extra step. What do you think? I've just gone and put the kettle on because cocoa powder doesn't taste nice and rich and chocolatey unless you bloom it first, and blooming is just heating up. Okay, so I'm going to put some boiling water onto my cocoa powder, mix it in, and then I'm going to build my ice cream, which is just going to be as the other one. It's going to be the cream cheese, a bit of gum, there's some salt because cocoa is very appreciative of salt. Any chocolate desserts I like to put salt in the middle. Cocoa powder here. This one is Dutch processed, it's been alkalized. So I've got 2 different cocoas. So this one is just pure regular cocoa and the Dutch process. Brackets over. So it's starting to look like this. It's all bitty and gritty at the moment, but I'm going to put it through. Maybe if you have a creamy, just so you know, these low calorie ones I always run through the smoothie bowl program because it was harder and longer, and that's what she said. And then I'm going to press mix in because that sort of clumps it all back together again. Alright. There you go. Right, so my water's boiled. I'm going to measure out some cocoa powder. This scoop should be 20-21 grams, I think. I'd normally do 15, but lately I'm not finding my I'm gonna go full street. It's only 15. I'm up to 20 grams. I would like to have my ice cream a little stronger. As I said, to bloom the cocoa, all you've got to do is put some hot water in there. Just a little bit. Don't need much. Ah, finally. Right, I'm going to let that rest for a while and bloom so it comes to full potential. And now it's starting to look good. Let me show you this. Gooey, creamy, yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm only going to have a taste because I'm not doing too well throat wise lately. I haven't been feeling too well for the past couple of days. I actually had to cancel some work. Oh, it's very nice though. It's you know, I'm pretty sure that if you've got a good blender, if you've got, you know, one with a good motor, or what are those machines called? Kitchen. That's the kettle beeping. If you've got a very good food processor, I'm pretty sure that you can just freeze these ingredients in an ice cube tray and then process it in your blender, and I'm pretty damn sure that you will get. I'll try that sometime. I'm waiting for a new blender to come through Amazon for me. Well, I'm not waiting for the blender. I'm waiting for the new mug, for the new cup, because this is like, it's one of these 4, you know, it's pretty, it's a chopper actually, it's a vegetable chopper, but this one cracked, so I've ordered a replacement bowl, and that's what I'm waiting for Secotech to send me. That's the brand of this one. And I've done all my protein ice creams, actually no, I've done most of my protein anabolic ice creams with my stick blender, the same one that I've been using in the strawberry ice cream. And that's always worked out just fine. Always worked out just fine. So I'm going to give this a rinse, bear with me. So anyway, I'm not going to eat any more of this. I'm going to press it down because it wants you to, the brand says that it's important to freeze it flat so you don't damage, like the machine's calibrated to do this, to process the ice cream on a flat surface. I'll flatten it as best as I can, stick it back in the fridge. I just wanted to show you guys what this turned out like after processing. But I'm going to go back in the fridge now because I have a cold and ice cream's kind of not for me now. Right, so chocolate ice cream. Sometimes I like to put, just like I put some lemon zest in the strawberry one, I like to put a bit of orange zest because I think chocolate orange is amazing. I've got all this mint as well. I could do chocolate mint. Maybe another day. I just want regular chocolate at the moment. Excuse me. Right, so my sweetener. 2 of these, 200 grams worth of sugar substitute. My one is saccharin. It's actually a blend. It's saccharin with, I'll say this in Spanish because I don't know how to say it in English, cyclamato. Cyclamate? Correct me if I'm wrong. I honestly don't know what it's called. And salt. Anything with cocoa in it, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't taste right if it doesn't have a decent amount of salt. This is a 3-finger pinch. It's a generous pinch there. And now my secret ingredient. 6 of these guys. Oh no! This time I'm going to try, I'm not going to be using these. There's a lot of people that have asked me, people in the USA, that apparently find it quite hard to find this type of processed cheese. You know, I'd say Laughing Cow, look for Laughing Cow, because apparently that seems to be the most readily available brand out there. But I have some singles, and I deliberately bought them because I wanted to try. I know that somebody else, since I posted these cheese-based ice creams, I know that they've been doing it apparently quite successfully with the singles, which doesn't surprise me because it's essentially the same thing. These ones are just, and they're both processed fake plastic cheese after all. Right, so let me just, these are 33 calories each. So let me do a bit of math. So 33, that's 100, if I'm going for 125, 130 calories in this case, so this is going to be 130 calories. So I'm using 1, 2, 3, I'm going to be using 4 slices. And I'm pretty confident that it's going to work. I hope it's going to work. I try to keep, it's, I mean, this and this smells the same. I'm pretty sure it's just, maybe if I fold this into a triangle enough times. You tell me what's the difference. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. I'm going to unplug my Creami, my Ninja Creami. Don't need that anymore. And I'm going to need my immersion blender again. Some water. But I won't put the water in just yet because the cheese makes this go all frothy and then it throws off the amounts that I need. It gets too voluminous. Right, let me make some noise. Make sure there's no cocoa sticking, because there's a lot of ridges inside the bottom of this cup so that hang on to the gubbins at the bottom. I'm going to check for sweetness to bitterness ratio. It's going to be salty. There's so little liquid. That's going to work just fine. Right, So water up to the line. There we are. There's a pint. And now a bit of my gum. My xanthan gum. I think Tara gum, I think, is the most popular one in the group, the Facebook group with the, you know, the creamy thing. I think Tara gum is the most popular one. I don't have it. I've never tried it, but I have tried different things. I know this is my go-to. It always works. I trust it. You know what else is really nice in this is some coffee granules. You get mocha flavour, don't you? You can't go better than chocolate and coffee. But I really do I just want some plain chocolate. Now, the more I blend the gum, the more homogenised it's going to become. It does become a bit frothy. But then there's a guarantee that it won't separate into layers when it's in the freezer. That is the important thing. When you do this with full fat, when you do it with cream, that you don't have to think about it. But when you're doing this, you've gotta be a bit more strategic. Tastes fine to me. Tastes perfect. So, I'm really looking forward to this working. Look. So 20 grams. I have to readjust for calories because 20 grams of cocoa, that's going to be about 70 calories plus 132. I've just come, oh, this has gone high. I normally don't get up to 200 calories. This one's going to be slightly over. But I did want the extra cocoa because I've been making it very, you know, like milk chocolatey, and I really want a nice dark rich kind of thing going on. Right, I'm going to clean up my area. Doke. That can stay there. promised I was going to do several things on this stream in particular. I was going to do the ice cream. I was going to do a clafoutis. With my raspberries. 140 something. Okay. I got this book at Here it is, clafoutis. How would you say it? So I got this book for €1 at a sort of jumble sale sort of thing, and I thought if I get a single idea out of this, it'll be worth it. In fact, I got 2 books for €2, one each, and the other one's huge. It's a hardback with like 200 and something recipes in it. And I thought if I get a single idea out of both of them, it will be worth it. And there's several that I want to try. Although I want to be doing a lot of tweaking because this is way more fat and sugar than I use. This is a Weight Watchers thing, and I think I think they've got something against artificial sweeteners. They do always use smaller amounts, what have you, but they do always use sugar and honey and maple syrup. I haven't seen any with artificial sweeteners, any recipes here. So I will be substituting, which will take the calories down a fair bit. And I do all my cakes in the Instapot. Actually, mine's not an Instapot, it's a knockoff. And I bought it second hand, so it was like next to nothing. I got it for €10 from Facebook Marketplace, actually. Anyway, actually I'll be bringing this over here because I don't need it just yet. So, clafoutis is it's a cherry recipe traditionally. It's a cake, and the batter is very similar to pancake batter. It's a lot runnier. I've never had it before. I've never tried it. Certainly never made it. I've just been Googling it and you know, just investigating a bit. But I'm going to make it up as I go along, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work. Now, good cooking is generally just a lot of practice, after all. As long as you figure out your sweet, sour, bitter, savoury ratios, you're fine with taste. And then you got to figure out the structure, and that's what cooking's all about, really. How to get the flavour and how to get the structure. And if you stop and think about it carefully enough, you can make all sorts of things without needing a lot of instructions. It's just what you already know. You apply it to different ingredients, and you know, the world's your oyster. So, as I said, this is like a 40 minutes. It says 40 minutes to cook, but I will be cooking it in 30 because this machine has a 30-minute cake program, and I can't fiddle around with it. So that's why I'm hoping it's not going to go wrong, because it's that's touch and go. That I don't have a proper oven. You see, I've got gadgets, but I don't have an oven. This is a tiny apartment. So it says a cup of fat-free half and half. I don't have half and half. I'm going to use evaporated milk. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen I have no idea what half and half is. Half and half is a milk and cream mix, I understand. And then fat-free half and half. If there's no cream in it, then it must be like skimmed milk and thickening agents. It has to be. And this is actually less than a cup. So I will be substituting it, what I'm missing, with some almond milk, and I hope it works. I've also seen that you can make half and half mixing butter with skimmed milk. I'll use the evaporated milk. This is I normally have this to make mashed potatoes, so it's creamy but it's not as fattening, you know. Right, first step is I have to lay my raspberries, because the original one's done with cherries, but I can't find cherries yet. We're supposed to be in cherry season already. But I've been to three different supermarkets and the greengrocers, and I haven't found it. So I think it's just the season, cherry season is a little bit later this year around. So, first line of business is to sweeten the fruit. I'll see it in all the different recipes that I've checked out, because obviously as soon as I saw this I decided to Google different recipes. And I've seen for this amount of cake or flour, I'd want to be using about 500 grams of cherries, but not pitted. Apparently they're thrown in whole. This is like 250, let's say 200 grams, no. 250, I've taken a few raspberries out to put in the, I think it was 4 raspberries I took out to put in my previous ice cream. And this has to be sugared. I'm just picking my nose up there, wash my hands a bit. So, I'm going to be using, this is half a tablespoon of sugar, and that's covered them, a tiny bit more. And apparently that has to sit there like that for a while. Now, to be honest, I don't know if this is supposed to like dissolve at all or anything. Maybe in cherries it would, although I doubt it as well. But I'm following instructions, and all the different recipes that I actually looked at had the same instructions. They said first line of business is to actually sit them in sugar. A lot more sugar, I think it's like 1/3 of a cup, not half a tablespoon, but you know, I do me. Bring half and half to a boil in a medium saucepan, set over medium-high heat, remove sauce and put the egg substitute in a medium bowl. Alright, so half a cup of fat-free egg substitute. I have egg whites. Is there meant to be a whole egg in there? Well, since there's no fat, I'm going to use 1 egg and make up the rest of it with egg whites. Daisy. Oh, I'm running out of eggs. So here's my 1 egg. As always, I'd rather be measuring. actually, I'm not, I'm having this here as a reminder, but I did actually get another recipe which made more sense to me than this particular Weight Watchers one. And it had 200 grams. It had 4 eggs, and 4 eggs is 200 grams of the actual content, so I'm measuring out 200 grams of the egg plus the whites. Come on, my dear. Okay. And I have to gradually whisk in the flour and the granulated sugar, which I'm not going to be using. Again, I'm going to be doing 200 grams of sugar substitute, which means 15 ml of this. Where did I put my little measuring cup? Oh, here. One and the 2. Now this measuring cup actually came with a different brand of saccharin, but it's actually got 100 grams of sugar, 50 grams of sugar actually written on it. So that's good for substituting. That's very clever of them. Pretty sure it was a Lidl product. So when I finished the saccharin, I kept the little measuring lid. Right. And this was going with 200 grams of flour, as I remember. And it wants whisking in gradually. Let's get the whisk. No, it was 80 grams of flour. It was definitely 80 grams of flour now, I remember now. Right, and I'm going to whip this up first of all. Put plenty of air into it, why not? So this is going in. Let me just check if it doesn't need, no, it doesn't take any raising agent. It just wants the flour for structure, not as a raising agent. So I got 200 grams of egg mix, and I'm putting in 80 grams of flour. Now I don't want this in fluid ounces, I want this in grams if you don't mind. Right. That's 30 grams. And 54. I need another 30 grams to come up to 80, 70, 77, and 80. 80 grams. now supposed to be putting the half and half in here. Which we're going to call the evaporated milk. I think I might have an open one. Yes, I do. Well, I think there's about 50 millilitres in this one. 40. Let's take it up to 100. And then I'll do the rest of it because it's a cup. And a cup is like 245, like a quarter of a litre. But then this has got a lot less flour in here. Compared to the one that I was looking at. This is 1 cup of cake flour and I'm using under half a cup. That's enough. There's no more evaporated milk going in there. I hope it works. Now the pictures that I've seen on, did I put away my eggs? Yes, I did. The pictures that I've seen on Google, most of them have kind of this, you can't see the flour structure so much. It's more like a flan, like a creme caramel sort of looking thing, or maybe cheesecake. You can definitely see that it's more about the eggs than the flour. Well, the eggs and the cream, for sure. But as I'm not doing cream today, it's going to be about the eggs. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to work. I hope it's going to work. I've also seen, because it's a batter similar to pancake batter, I also have seen that people like to let this sit and do its thing. You know, pancake batter, which is essentially the same as Yorkshire pudding batter, works best when it's been hanging around for at least an hour, you know. Anyway, I've changed my mind on one thing. I'm going to put a tiny bit of raising agent in there, about like tip. Because it's not, I'm using all-purpose flour, it's not baking powder, I mean baking flour. I don't know about in other countries, but here in Spain you have the different types of flour. One of them is specific for cake making, and it's got some raising agent in it. I'll put just a tiny bit in. I want it to be a fluffy cake, but I don't want it to be completely flat either. So, I'm going to be making one other thing today. But I'll be doing it later because I'm actually, whoops, I need a break. I think I said before I don't feel well. So I'll line my Instapot. And then the order of business, like nothing has been soaked up here. Absolutely nothing. All the sugar's just sitting on the top there. Actually, some of it has. Anyway, so I'm supposed to line this sort of spread these out on the bottom and pour my batter over it and then cook. So I better get a spatula. And hopefully it will work. I don't know if you can see. Yes, you can. A little bit. Will this cover everything? Is there enough batter? Yes, there is. There's enough batter to cover the fruit. Plus, with all the egg it's got in it, it will rise. Anyway, I am actually going to let this sit here instead of leaving my batter to sit in the fridge. You shake around, make sure those middles get some cake in, so you know, because they're hulled and they're... So let me just show you how this has ended up. There's enough to cover them. There should be a little bit of raising going on due to the eggs, and I'm really looking forward to this clafoutis. Clafoutis shaky booty. So what I will be doing, I'll just leave the lid on it like that, and in about an hour or so I'll just turn it on. I will select cake and let it do its thing. And I'll be posting pictures of the final results on social media so you can see how it turned out, and I will be back at another time. I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes and I think I deserve a rest now. I'm gonna make myself a warm cup of green tea. I've got some jasmine green tea there which I'm going to make for myself. I'm going to lie down and I'm going to chill out and rest my voice as well, because all this talking isn't that good for me either. Whatever's going on in my throat and breathing passages. So yeah, anyway, I will see you on my next stream. Thank you for any lurkers.